What's up, soulmates? Welcome back once again to my channel. In today's video, guys, we are going to be making a shirt dress. I made a video on how to attach a collar to a shirt dress. I'll add up the link to this very one. So if you've not seen the video, maybe you'll do well to check it after watching this very one. If you are new to my channel, you are highly welcome. If you've not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing now. If you've already subscribed to this channel, I thank you for your support. I upload videos in this channel every Wednesdays and Sunday by God's grace. If in the future there is any changes, I'm still gonna let you guys know. If by the end of this video you learned anything new or you find it helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Click also on the notification bell so that you will be updated each time I upload a new video. Without taking much of our time, let's go into the video. Let's go. So now, guys, this is the fabric that we are going to be using for the shirt dress tutorial. As you can see, I've marked in my baseline and I've also marked in my placket line. I used 2.5 inches for my placket line here. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to insert my shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches. When you divide that into 2, we are going to get 8 inches, but I'm going to add ½ inch to it, making it 8.5. So from this line, I'm going to take my 8.5 inches. So I'm marking 8.5, and here at this point here, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. So that's 1 inch, and I'm going to connect from here to this place. This is the shoulder slope. Guys, my fabric is very stretchy and it has refused to be marked on, but I'm going to manage to mark on it. So if you see me taking time drawing my lines, please bear with me because the fabric is very stretchy. So now that I have inserted my shoulder line and my shoulder slope, the next thing I'm going to do is to take my vertical measurements. Now on this line here, I'm going to throw out 1.5 inches. So I'll throw 1.5 inches before inserting my necessary measurement. Now I am working with a waist of 17. A waist of 17 inches. So I'm going to insert it here. Then from my waist to my hip is 9 inches. So I'm going to insert 9 inches for our hip line. So I'm still going to apply the same measurements here so that I can connect the lines. So this is our hip line. And this is for the waistline. Guys, you can notice how I'm marking this. Man, the fabric is very stretchy, but I'm gonna manage it. So now, from this point, you are going to measure the full length of your dress. My full length is 43 inches. So I know you guys cannot see it up to this point, but just know that what I'm doing now is marking in my 43 inches. If I have to drag this, I'm going to run out of camera space. So now I've marked the full length of my dress. So go ahead and mark the full length of your dress. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to insert our horizontal measurements. Now I'm working with a waist measurement of 42 inches. When you divide 42 inches into 4, we are going to have 10.5. So this is my 10.5 inches here. Then I'm working with a waist measurement of 47, but I'm just going to make it 48. So when you divide that into 4, we are going to have 12 inches. So this is 12 inches. And whatever you have here, you are going to insert it at the lower part of your dress. So I'm inserting 12 inches at the lower part of my dress. Then you add your hemming allowance. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to add in my armhole measurement. The armhole of this person is, the measurement is 9 inches. So I'm going to still throw out 1.5 inches on the shoulder slope line here, and I will mark my 9 inches. But I'm going to take 8.5, in the sense that when I'm sewing it, I'm going to use ½ inch to sew, and it's to still summon to 9 inches. So let me just mark 8.5 inches here. Now I can connect these lines, but before I do that, I will mark in my 8.5 inches here also. Now I can go ahead and connect the lines. So you can as well extend this line, because we are going to be inserting our bust measurement on the chest line here. This is the chest line. So now the bust is bust 47, but I'm using 48 just to add a little bit of ease to it. So when you divide it into 4, you are going to get 12 inches. So I'm marking 12 inches. I'm going to use this little space you are seeing here, like 1 inch as my allowance for the dress, because I don't have enough fabric. But when marking on your own, you can use 1.5 or 2 inches. Had it been my fabric is very enough, I would have used 2 inches for my allowance. So now I'm going to add 1 inch allowance on the waist area also, and this is 1 inch allowance also at the hip area. Now I'm going to connect the lines. So now guys, I'm going to measure the middle of this armhole depth that we have. I have 7 inches here. Dividing it into 2, I'm going to get 3.5 inches. So I'll mark 3.5 inches here and also come in by ½ inch. Then I will create my armhole line. Can you see what my fabric is doing? Well, I'm going to manage it anyway, whether the fabric likes it or not. We are going to make a very good use of it. So now guys, these are the necessary measurements you need. So I'm going to drag this up a little bit, and I will show you what I'm going to do at the down part of my dress. So this is the down part of the dress. let me quickly add in my hemming allowance. So I'm adding 1.5 inch hemming allowance, 1.5 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do, I want to determine the middle of this fabric here. So from here to here is 12, so I'll divide 12 into 2. I'll get 6 inches. So this is the middle of our fabric. Here I'm going to go up by 1.5 inches, and here I'm going to come down by 2 inches. So first off, let me connect this hemming allowance that I added here. Let me connect to the line. Then here is our 6 inches, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down by 2 inches now and go up by 1.5 inch here. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to trace this from that point to this point, and from this point to the 2 inches line here. So guys, with what I have done here, can you figure out what I was doing? I was just adding a little bit of style to it. If you want, you can leave your own straight like this, you understand, but I just want to spice things up with my shirt dress. So that is that. So guys, with this I'm going to cut out. Can you see that? So I'm going to drag this down. So I'm going to drag this down, but I'm going to pin it up also so that it won't shift from its normal position. So I'll take it down so I'll be able to cut. So remember to add in your 1/2 inch sewing allowance at the shoulder line there. So I'm going to insert my 1/2 inch, or if I want I can cut it in as I'm cutting. All right. So after I've cut this out, I'm going to insert my neckline. So I'm going to go 2.5 by 3 inches. 2.5 by 3 inches. So I'm going to connect. So I'm going to cut this out now. is our neckline. We took 2.5 by 3 inches. So this is our neckline. If you want, you can split here, but I'm just going to leave it like this. Let me cut out the back piece of our fabric. So now guys, we have our back piece here on the table. If you notice, you will see that I throw out my placket area, like I did not place it on top of the back. If you want, you can fold it in like this, because you don't need it at the back of your shirt. So I threw it away, and this is the center back. So now at the top here, I left 3.5 inches. The reason why I did it, you remember, the reason why I did this is because I remember I took 1.5 inches from the front. So that 1.5 inches plus the back 1.5 inches will give us 3 inches, and the ½ inch is for sewing allowance. So that is why I have 3.5 inches for the back here. So now I'm going to fold this in like this. I want to get the armhole and the neckline for the back. So I'm going to fold it like this. I'm going to complete this semicircle. So carefully, can you see that, guys? I've created my semicircle. So I'm just going to mark this very heavy so that you guys can see. So can you see? I've created our neckline for the back, and at the armhole here, I'm not going to come in like this. I'm just going to mark straight like this and connect to that place. So you are going to have something like this. So can you see that, guys? Now you can cut. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out my back neckline. And I'm going to cut out my armhole. So with this, guys, we are done drafting the shirt dress. If you find this video helpful, or if you have learned anything new, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and also click on the notification bell so that you will be notified each time I upload a new video. I can make use of my both hands while cutting clothes. So if you see me changing hands, don't worry, it's still me that is cutting. No, it's me. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to put this away. This is our back neckline. Can you see that? So don't forget to add 1 inch shoulder slope for the back part of your dress. I forgot that is what I just did now. So I took out 1 inch for shoulder slope. Always remember that. That's what I remembered, and I said let me come and show you guys before any other thing. So now I'm just going to go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to join the front piece and the back piece together, shoulder to shoulder.